In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls himself the holder of deception. The worker will look at you with an expression of shock on her face. Then, with superhuman speed, she will attack you with her baton. If you're not knocked unconscious by the first blow, flee the city, for they'll know what you're after. When your consciousness returns, you'll be in a magnificent courtyard on a starry night. There'll be a great stone staircase that appears to ascend to the heavens themselves. Climb the staircase, but never look behind you. If you do, the stairs will begin to crumble and you'll plummet into the void for an eternity. After what'll seem like days of climbing, you'll come to a landing overlooking a great marble amphitheater styled in the ancient Greek fashion. Descend to the bottom of the amphitheater. An old man in opalescent robes will be waiting for you on a dais in the center. This storied old man will be lecturing as if there was a great crowd. However, you must not listen to him, for not a word he speaks is true. If you're drawn in by his charismatic speaking, your mind will be completely subjugated by his deception, and you'll be his slave for eternity. He'll only react to one question. What is the only truth you're permitted to speak of? The man will look down at you with an expression of great sadness. He'll then impart on you a story that'll shake the very foundations of your soul with great sorrow, but it'll leave you knowing one important truth. The number itself is not as it seems. He'll then motion you towards an exit from the amphitheater and continue his lecture. Turn away from him quickly, for you'll now be able to see the legions of horrific, twisted demons sitting on the seats of the amphitheater. Do not gaze towards any of them longer than a moment, or else they'll tear you apart and add you to their collection of souls. Walk to the exit as quickly as possible. There'll be a great grimoire on a stand next to the door. Take the grimoire and exit through the door. You'll find yourself in the back alley behind the asylum. The grimoire you clutch, with its pages firmly strapped shut and locked with a great steel padlock, is object 20 of 538. If you wish to see past the deception and reunite them, you must find the key. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls himself the holder of rage. The person will appear shy as they show you to a door and then walk away. When you enter the door, you'll be looking down a staircase that descends into darkness. As you descend the stairs, you'll begin to hear screams. The screams will come from a throat of indeterminate origin. If the screaming stops at any time, shout to the darkness, "Resume your business! I do not wish to intrude!" If the screaming does not come back, there's nothing you can do, for you'll be dead before you know what happens. If the screaming continues, you may move on. Eventually, you'll see light coming through the cracks in the door. Go through this door, and you'll be in what appears to be a medieval dungeon. Hollowed out skulls filled with candle service lanterns, and skeletons line the walls. There'll be a wooden table in front of a fire inside a fireplace. On this table is the served head of a 4-year-old girl, staring ahead with glassy eyes. Step up to the table and look ahead in the eyes. In a clear, commanding voice, ask, "Who will stop them from coming together?" The head will look you in the eyes and tell you the tale of a man. She will tell you his entire story, from his violent birth to what he's doing that very moment. His deeds will be recounted in horrifying detail. He's a murderer of which the likes have never been seen, and he's just as mad. If at the end of the story, the head tells you he's listening to our conversation, you'll be dragged out of the room and never be heard from again. You'll experience all of the most horrifying things ever conceived, and you'll be kept alive until you have experienced them all. If she tells you he's elsewhere, he's now looking for you. He'll not stop until you're dead, or the objects come together. She'll tell you to pick her up. Pick the head up by the hair and look at the table where she was. Sitting there will be a needle, covered in dried blood, semen, pus, and countless unidentifiable substances. That needle is object 21 of 538. The hunt has begun and the clock is ticking.